Hello everyone, this is Harris Trivia, and welcome back to round 2, or the round of 8, here in our 3rd season of the Subscribers Game Tournament. And kicking things off, we'll have our 1st seed versus 8th seed matchup between Yulia versus SA Wang. And how this will work is both players will fight in a best out of 3 format, where the first 2 matches will be an alternating siege battle, where the higher seed player will decide whether they want to defend first or attack first on the same map, and there will be a pick ban phase for these 2 matchups. If the matches are tied after the alternating siege, then we move on to a blind pick tiebreaker, where both players will fight in an open field battle, and they can pick whichever generals they would like blindly, and face off for a fair matchup. Now for our first match here, Yulia, who is the 1st seed, has decided to defend first, and SA Wangping will be attacking. And for pick bans, the attacking side will always be the side who will start off the picks and bans. So let's take a look at how those pick and bans went, and how this worked is that both players will start things off by banning 3 generals they don't want to face, and they will alternate picks afterwards, and there will be additional ban rounds after each pick, and the final pick for both players will be blind, and it will be picked at the same time. So to kick things off, we have SA Wangping banning out Zhang Jiao, followed by Yulia banning out Lu Bu, Liu Zhang, Xu Huang, Liu Chong, and Fa Zheng. And just looking at SA Wangping's bans to start things off, he doesn't want to deal with Messenger of Heaven, which is tremendous value, doesn't want to deal with Ceasefire and Show of Force, which is the main reason why you would bring Liu Zhang and Liu Chong. Then for Yulia, the bans are more generic. We have 2 very strong generals in Lu Bu and Xu Huang, who are both unbreakable and both have decent smash abilities to clear infantry. And then we also have a ban on Fa Zheng, who has an infinite mock ability, which is also a very decent damage source, and also has a very weird interaction here on siege maps, which we'll take a look at in our next pairing between Lu Meng and Sleeping Phoenix, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. Then we look at the picks. SA Wangping gets the first pick here, and he picks Huang Fusong, and to answer, Yulia picks Yan Baihu. So both picks are pretty telegraphed in what they want to do, nothing hidden here. For Huang Fusong, we have Hail of Arrows, but more importantly, we're going to see a lot of Defender of Empire, unbreakable Spear Guard infantry, who can turtle up, which is really good in attack sieges, as you can basically protect your army from those pesky towers. And that's going to open up a lot of things. And the answer of Yan Baihu is actually pretty decent here too. Not only is he strong and invisible, he's very good at killing infantry, especially in narrow corridors. So once those Defender of Empire come inside and you can hit them down the hallway where they're clumped together, you get tremendous value from your poison volley. Then the bans afterward. Now Yulia is going to ban first, and she bans Sun Ce. Worried about the Roar, which is really good against Sentinel, since Yan Baihu is not unbreakable, as well as other units. And it also feels like she's a little bit worried about slam abilities, as Lu Bu, Xu Huang, and Sun Ce all share similar Flame of Phoenix type abilities. And then for SA Wangping, Vengeful is banned, also has a good Roar, good units. Nothing too crazy about him. And then for picks, this time Yulia picks first, and she goes with Mu Lu. And it's answered by Lu Zhi from SA Wangping, which is another Defender of Empire general. So we're probably going to see 12 units of Defender of Empire spam, and that means Yulia really needs to up her anti-infantry game. Now Mu Lu of course means you can bring elephants, and that's definitely an answer to infantry. But the defending side has access to less fund, about 3,000 less. I think it's 12,000 versus 15,000. So that's going to be a challenge of bringing enough units to counter those infantry. But now we have more crowding of those Defender of Empire, and perhaps Yan Baihu's pick has even more value. Then for the last set of bans, we have a ban of Lady Zhurong and a ban of Yan Yu. Now the Lady Zhurong ban feels a little weird because it's a very good pick for the attacking side, and I don't think it's very good for the defending side because her mace can actually light up the town on fire just by walking through the town, and that would impact settlement damage, so I highly doubt any defending side would ever pick her. And since we already have 2 generals picked, she's also not going to be picked for her combination with her husband for the Power of Love passive, So I feel like this ban here by SA Wang Ping is a little bit wasted opportunity. Probably should have banned more things that can counter infantry, but regardless, we have the answer ban of Yan Yu for Yulia, and that's a bandit pick, mainly because you have a mending combination. Also not really amazing pick and hasn't really showed up in the tournament so far. Not sure why this general in particular was banned. But then we have both players picking blind for their third and final general, and we see Gao Shun being picked up for SA Wang Ping and Guan Yu being picked up for Yulia. Now both pick here also puzzles me a little bit because it feels like it would be better suited if they swapped, as SA Wang Ping's main issue with the two pick is the lack of a strong general setup, because Lu Zhi is not going to be very combat capable, but they have a ton of great infantry. So Guan Yu, being a great duelist with God of War, is going to be a good answer for that. Also a lot of health. And on Yulia's side, I feel like Guan Yu doesn't help in any regard because he's not very good at clearing infantry. He doesn't have access to any great units that can help clear infantry. There's definitely better choices. For example, Yuan Shao, who's not picked here, could be a good choice just by providing morale boosts, which will neutralize some of that advantage from the enemy Unbreakable, as whatever infantry or unit you field will also get 50 points of morale bonus, and that usually means they're not going to rout and they're able to fight similar to an Unbreakable unit. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter, as you could also go a variety of ways. Go for more slam ability. For example, Gao Shun would be pretty good on Yulia's comp, as you can have sort of the mini nuke. It's been nerfed down quite a bit with the Scattering Blow combo with Flame of Phoenix, but still quite good in a settlement battle where you can slam down a bunch of enemy infantry, especially when faced with a bunch of enemy infantry. But overall, pretty interesting setup. So looking at unit composition, starting with Yulia on the green side, we see 1 War Elephant. We have 4 Wolfpack, which I think it's a weird choice, given that there's no real good matchup for them. You're running into predicted Defender of Empires, and Wolfpacks just isn't going to do much against those, even though they do have a Javelin. It's not going to penetrate turtle formations. If they're meant to help against generals, I don't think the help is warranted or needed, because Guan Yu is also picked as the 3rd general, and the 2 general that was shown by SA Wang Ping are rather weak, with Huang Fusong and Lu Zhi. And then the 3 units on Yan Baihu's are very interesting as well. We have White Tiger Raider, only 1. These are poison arrow snipe users, and they can be very good at whittling down the enemy Defender of Empire. A couple more being better, a little less Wolfpack, a little less upgrade, I think would do the trick. 1 Bandit Cav to snipe potential unattended trebuchets. Gonna be difficult to find one of those, given that there are gonna be a lot of Defender of Empire, probably providing a nice little box for that siege weapon. And then finally, we are going to have an invisible Defender of Earth, so the bomb arrow here will burn potential rams and siege tower. Those are provided for the attacking side, and that could be a solution if SA Wang Ping didn't bring a trebuchet. So a little bit of everything. Very expensive choices with Defender of Earth as well as the War Elephant, so a little thin on the unit, especially if you look at SA Wang Ping on the red side, as we have 9 units of Defender of the Empire. Going to be very difficult to deal with. This is pretty telegraphed given that these are the first 2 pick of the generals, and Guan Yu just seems like a weird 3rd choice here to clear this many infantry. Then we have 2 Destroyers of Treachery, Splash Damage Cav, and 2 Seadown Cavs on Gao Shun, mainly to help the generals fight. I think that's the intention. So pretty interesting comp by both sides, not a lot of range for either side, and we'll see how Yulia handle this massive amount of Defender of Empire, which is something you should expect after you see Huang Fusong and Lu Zhi picked. So looking at deployment, we see something pretty interesting here. The 2 siege weapons were left here visible. Now the attacking side would deploy first and the defending side deploy second. So probably what happened was that we had a deployment where they showed the siege weapon's location because they can't hide in forests, and then he just removed the units and moved them into the forest. This map is picked to help the attacking side to hide their units because there's a lot of forests around the settlement. So this is meant to confuse the defenders and force them to not put their Bastion siege weapons in ideal locations. In this case, they're facing completely the wrong way, as we'll have attack from this side. Now, because there's no way for Yulia to know where SA Wangping's units are, she decided to put them in the center. Hopefully the units leave. This map was also picked by me to make sure there's no center camping, because there's no towers around the city center. All the towers are on the gate approach. There's 4 on each side. There are no towers within the city center plaza, and there's no towers that can reach the capture point. So I really wanted to prevent any sort of camping the center strategy, as I feel like that's not really a fair strategy for a siege battle. Defeats the purpose of defending a siege. So that's a setup. Now this is a level 2 settlement with max development, so the whole purpose here is to encourage fire attacks. I purposely didn't pick rain. So fire attacks to get settlement damage to reduce enemy morale by 20 points is a very viable strategy, and we'll see if anyone actually attempts that strategy. As the higher development, the higher the density, the more things there are to burn. So let's see how this one fights. Pretty sure we're going to see a trebuchet advance and just breaking down the walls perhaps. There's no need to break towers, waste of shots. You have enough turtle formation to kind of take care of that. I'm surprised Yulia's cavalry is not left out in the field, because the cavalry is invisible. This one here, and Yanbaihu as well. They could be just, placed randomly outside, even if you don't know where they are. I guess it's quicker to be in the center and then advance to a location. The backside here is also really good if you're just doing infantry advance, because the tree goes up quite close to the tower. Over here, clearly, SA Wangping wants the open space to use the trebuchet. We can fast forward a bit because those trebuchets is going to take a while to come out of that forest. You can see the range indicator here. And we do have a deployment forward away from the city center. This is a very key unit. 48 ammo. My arguments, one more unit would have been better. You can shoot each of the turtle formation just a few times. Yanbaihu getting a little bit impatient here. I actually don't think early poison volley is worth it, unless we're looking to snipe this. That cavalry is actually the biggest play. If the cavalry can sneak through and hit this before they get into a box, that's the opening. Yanbaihu should just sit back, let them come in. The streets are all very straight, make for a great place to shoot the poison volley. There is Stifling Deluge on Luzhi. You can see the cavalry. There's no vision of them, so they're just kind of scouting ahead. But they can't really walk out because the towers will shoot them if they're on this side. Even though you do grab the aggro of the towers, each side shoots independently. So if they walk out over here, they will get shot. Yeah, this cavalry, a lot is hinging on this cavalry to take out this trebuchet. There's actually an opening here. Oh, they're going for the tower. There's fire damage on this. And there's fire damage on this, so over 50% is all you need. Interesting that the trebuchet is being used to take towers. Now, if this cavalry actually strikes and take this out before a wall goes down, even though these towers are down without a hole in the wall, it's actually quite favorable because it's very difficult to clear walls without fatiguing your units. They would have to then go back to these, perhaps. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, these cavalries are really in position, though. I mean, they also know Yanbaihu is here because he was picked first. So pick ban phase really do make things quite interesting. That wall is about to go down. Just no real good opening. Yanbaihu's showing up. Maybe he can draw the attention. Oh, are we poison volleying from here? Into the... No, bad waste. Huge waste. Huge waste of poison volley. It's per unit tick. It's not going to do anything to trebuchets. Might as well shoot this and distract. They really need to kill these. I don't see anything else that could kill these things. I mean, we have one elephant and one Mulu, but that's not enough. I mean, Guan Yu doesn't even have hamstrings, so Guan Yu can't even dismount and do massive damage chunk here. Alright, maybe there's an opening to kill this trebuchet, but there's already a gap. Even if they take the trebuchet out now, the value is much less. They can stop the fire from burning the whole town, I guess would be a thing. Let's go, let's go. Bandit Raiders, you can do it. Prove your worth. Trade your value for a trebuchet. Yamahu should pull out his bow and shoot Luger right now as a distraction, because he's going to look at trebuchet and the Luger might die right after. It's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity. Snipe him. You have a bow. The mod gave you a really good bow. Use it. Okay, so we got a good angle on 4 units. Okay, that's decent. Trebuchet is completely gone. They can actually run out and be invisible again. They're faster than the generals. Luger could have been sniped. I think that would have been a better choice. This way, Turning the Tide is gone. Stifling Deluge is gone. You open up for God of War to try to snipe. I'm guessing Huang Fusong. They're both very high armor, so I'm not sure how this would even work. But he has such low health that I think it's enough. If you God of War and hits Gao Shun, that's probably enough. Right, that cavalry's now invisible again. This gap is going to be a problem though. Well, I guess the wolf pack has a good target in these 4 cavalry units. I don't understand this clumping. It's giving Yamahu too much value here. If he shoots, he can get maybe 7 units. What is up with people's fascination with boxes? Tactical withdrawal, speed up and run. Surprising didn't hit this guy. Actually only got 2 units. Well, they bumped Yamahu a couple times. He lost about 3k health. I mean, blocking the enemy here would be okay. The wolf pack should be placed around here. Elephants. I'm not sure how they plan to attack. I mean, clearly Gulshan. Oh, we're using the bow now, but they're microing. Wait, they're being used on turtle units, or are they just trying to shoot generals? No, it feels like they're using it on turtle units. Why? They're still being used on turtle units. What are we doing? Now Yamahu could actually hide in a forest and snipe. Okay. Decent. Looks like there's only 3 guys who got hit by that. Should have waited, I think. The poison volley should have waited until they come into the settlement. Alright, Guan Yu scares people away. Comes out, shoot a couple shots. Still at turtle units. Is just fire a will turned on or something like that? Because it's terrible. Alright, SA Wanpei needs to figure out how he wants to come inside, because the 4 poison volleys are done. It's time to squeeze in. When they're squeezing in is actually the best time to shoot the poison volley, because there's going to be a clump, pathing is going to be terrible, and then you shoot them down the hallway and you're going to get a bunch of targets, maybe on all of them. I think the 4 usage was wasted. That first one, the trebuchet, was pointless, and the second, the 3 after, I think got 4 unit 1s, 3 unit 1s, 2 unit 1s. It's not worth it. He still have a couple shot on his bow. He does not know they're waiting for him. Trying to get into the forest, I'm guessing, to get the snipe active. You need to be in the forest for the stalker passive. And then you can shoot and still remain invisible. Oh, what is he trying to do? There's also probably an opening to crash the cavalry into Luger when they move the infantry up. I do have to wonder, SA Wanpei, you're attacking. This does not look like attacking. Surprise! Big surprise. I don't think it gave Guan Yu the tactical. He wasn't in range for it. But he gets away. Red hair. Poison arrow being wasted. Alright, we finally have movement. Wolf packs. They could be sitting on the wall, actually. Be really safe from enemy cavalry. I mean, I think all the units can be close to this point. It feels like that's where the defense is going to be at anyways. Yeah, the cavalry's just going to charge this unit. Okay, there goes the White Tiger Raiders. This is a very bad spot to fight from, but they got the roar active, got a couple of routes. I hope the White Tiger Raider can bounce back. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, I don't see any way of killing all these infantry. I mean, if they can drag them out over here and let the towers do some damage to the cavalry, that's also quite good. But it looks like Mulu's trapped. He can't walk back because the cavalry surrounded him. Looks like Mulu's gonna die. Maybe a Helve Arrow through the gap? Pretty good. Who is he aiming for? It's units? I'm guessing that's a loss of vision. Alright, he's going to reacquire the target and finish the rest of his shots. Not much. Defender took some shots for nothing just by walking by. Lost 5 units actually, that's a lot, given that they start with 30. Very unfortunate actually. Alright, at least they're all coming in. Going on walls. Throw some javelins out. The bomb arrows. Shouldn't really be used on cavalry though. Well, I don't like to force players to rush. This is not attacking force. Whatever this is, it's not attacking. I don't want to set a time limit for battle because I don't want to rush and just have one side stall out first for a win. But this is ridiculous. Like, what are they scared of? 4 poison volley already been used? Yeah, bomb this group. Put some Wolfpack in front, bomb this group. Yeah, there we go. What I'm wondering is, will it actually do enough damage? Because I don't think it will. Turtle doesn't protect from the explosion, but it does protect from the javelin. So I don't know why the Wolfpack were picked. Yeah, the cavalry could look for opportunity to maybe crash into Lucher. That's the only value I think they can get. Elephants? Elephants? Right here would be the best time to charge in with elephant. Now or never. Now or never. Yeah, Wolfpack's not gonna do anything here. Alright, they need to kill Lucher, or else it's kind of pointless. They can't use Guan Yu's God of War. Alright, he's charging in to kill Lucher. We got Mulu's elephant. Lucher's getting hit. Why don't we use these elephants? Alright, Lucher's picked off. Get the cavalry to chase him to make sure he doesn't come back. Ooh! Point blank. Can we God of War him? I think that was the God of War. I don't think it hit his health. Yeah, evasion. Without a strategist to guarantee the hit. Ah, there we go. Got the elephants coming in. Yeah, without a strategist to guarantee a hit, I don't know what Wang can really do here. Lulu can maybe charge in, do some ability usage. There's also not a lot of room for the elephants to charge. You can see they're just getting stuck. They need to be given a new charge order. Give a new order? They're slapping around some of the infantry. I mean, the kill counts is okay, but Lulu got killed. It wasn't microed. I think he was just kind of stuck there getting killed. Why are they not shooting? They need to be down. They can't shoot backwards. Get down. Alright, we got a Vanguard routing, which is good. The tower should pick him up over here. Do some damage to him. Lucher comes back. That cavalry should have been sent to Lucher before he came back. But yeah, the elephants, not really gonna work here. Army loss is kicking in, that's the thing. And we got Turning the Tide. Not that they need it. Now we got some bomb arrows coming in now. And they're getting attacked. They got a decent amount of kills. I don't think they were terrible. They were used pretty badly, but I don't think the choice is that bad. The thought process between potentially burning down the siege weapons also decent. And the cavalry comes in as a suicide. That should be it. They rout and it should be over. So the first match is going to go towards SA Wang Pei, and let's take a look at the numbers. So most of this match is really about stopping the defenders of the Empire And honestly, they weren't really used that much. They flooded in there. I think the ability timing was really off for Yulia across the board. Poison Volley didn't need to target the Trebuchet early. And they should have waited until all of them crowded in that one gap, because you got the snipe on the Trebuchet. Just wait. They'll all be there at this one little gap, and you can shoot them. It's a pretty telegraphed pick, because you saw Huang Fusong and Luchu come out 1-2. So Guan Yu's pick on 3 is really puzzling, because Guan Yu is also a super expensive general. He costs, I think, 2,400 to pick him up. The funding in total is only 12,000. So that slot, I think, ate up too much of the funding, and a few units would have been a lot better. Premium infantry is actually something that Yulia probably needed, because you can just jam up a hole like that, and even though they have 9 unbreakable unit, if you don't let them all flood in, you're fighting really only 1-for-1. You're just going to murder most of them. Gaussian was a good pick. I think in that regard, Gaussian was used to kind of potentially open up any gaps. If they had, say, like an Imperial Sword Guard in turtle formation, then like Huang Fusong can't do anything to that, because there's no range damage against that with Hail of Arrows, since they're in turtle, and they're so much better than Defender of Empire. They'll just basically 2 units can probably kill all 9 without any problems. So Gaussian does fill that void, but I think the unit choices, as well as the general choices from Yulia, just didn't really give her a chance here, as well as some misplays. I feel like things could have gone a little bit better for her, even though it looked like SA Wang Ping was super confused for a good portion of that match, not really progressing with his offense after the Trebuchet got taken out. I think there was an issue with the timing. Overall, it's still a pretty quick match. Even if we give a time limit, it'd probably be around 40 minutes. So the fact that this only took 21 minutes was fine, even though we had a very long stalling period, and as long as Yulia just stays inside, I guess that's fine. Not like he was baiting her into anything. Overall, pretty interesting setup here. Not a very exciting match. I think it was not a very fair matchup, even though we did have a pick ban phase. I don't think players are using the pick ban phase that well, especially if you are going to get this comp. For example, on SA Wang Ping side, there's absolutely no reason why you need to ban Zhang Jiao, because you're not really scared of Messenger of Heavens at all. You have so many anti-cav that just feels like a wasted ban. Aside from that, nothing really to touch on. Hopefully we'll see a more exciting second match, as they will swap sides, as Yulia will be the one attacking this time, and we'll have a different pick ban for that one coming up next. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you all next time. Bye!